drop 'em. One hook and I'll rock 'em. One more and I'll stop 'em. Call the fighter, I'll lock 'em. Op 'em. If he reach, then I'll pop 'em. Street sweeper, I'll wash 'em. Homicide, come and chalk 'em. Drop 'em. One hook and I'll rock 'em. One more and I'll stop 'em. Call the fighter, I'll lock 'em. Op 'em.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is the real fight that we all been waiting for and that we all want to see. Fury and Usyk face off, and they get into a war of words. And well, there's actually really one person having words, but we're going to watch the face off, and then we'll discuss it and whether or not we believe that fight's going to be next. But let's take a look at the face off at the end of the fight. All right, so this video appears courtesy of Top Rank. You can subscribe to Top Rank. Bob Arum has been cool with letting us show videos, so hopefully that will continue.
Big man Tyson Usyk is ringside tonight. We saw him goading you as well during the fight.
I don't know where he is. Where's Alexander Usyk, the rabbit? Usyk! You're next, little bitch. You're next. You are next. Me and you, sucker, next. Me and you. You're getting it, little sucker. Rabbit. Pussy. Look at it. 15-stone little midget beat a bodybuilder. Well, I ain't a bodybuilder, sucker. I'm going to write you off. I already done one Ukrainian Klitschko, didn't I? And I'll do you as well, gappy teeth.
Yo, that's
You ugly little man. You ugly little man. Let's get it on, bitch. Let's get it on you as well. You may laugh now, but I will end this little sucker. End you. End you. End you. Hello, Usyk, you little sucker. What are you going to do? You're going to do something. Are you going to do something? You're going to do fuck all. You're going to do fuck all. You little sausage.
He looks so lost up there, Bill. Usyk, what's good?
As well, Tyson.
Right. We'll have it. Why don't I straight to a Royal Rumble then?
Yeah, the real champ. The champ in the building.
Big Joe Joyce is here. And Big Joe Joyce is a warrior. I tell you what, Joe, I'm the only one who calls your name out. Everybody else is scared of you. Yes. So if this little rabbit don't want it and he can't be me, let's me and you, my brother, do Wembley. Come on, Joe Joyce! Come on, Joe!
Yeah! Fans surely want to see you fight for the next since Lennox Lewis. How do you feel about it?
All right, so that was the exchange at the end of the fight. Now the question is, do you think they will fight each other next? So do you think Undisputed will be next after that big face-off and everything? I'm gonna turn it over to Trill Dollar Bill. What's your answer? Your reaction, everything.
This was beautiful. This was beautiful. This is what the heavyweight division needed. That was classic. Calling Usyk up there, him screaming in Usyk's face, Usyk smiling, looking like he was trying not to bust out in laughter, but then you see them licking his lips. Because, like, let me hold this, G. He's seeing food in front of him. Food. He was looking, you know what I'm saying? Like that. He was doing the LL Cool J because, you know, he said, but I smell Fury. You know what I'm saying? That's why he was licking his lips. You know what I mean? Like, I see. That's what I see. This is easy money right here. This food right in front of me. He even got to the point where he didn't take him serious. You know how he said that? Because he said, "Part of my back," and hopped on the jack while he was talking. That's how you know. That's how you know you looked at him as a clown. He said, "Part of my back." You do all that scream. You know how you let the people go ahead, girl, scream, baby. I'll be right back. Came back and looked at him. You see how he was looking at him? What's going on with you? You know what I'm saying? He wasn't even giving him no smoke. Joe had to come over. Joe had to throw his little 2 cents in there. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew it. He was like, I'll try to avoid this fight right here. But the main question is, do we think that this fight will happen next? No, this fight's not going to happen next. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? You heard what Tyson Fury said? Oh, I got a problem with my shoulder and my elbow. No, it was my hand, and then it switched to my elbow. You know what I'm saying? I got to check out, got to do another surgery on my hands, and then I got my elbow, so that might not. I'm gonna need some time. After he was on these guys about he gonna need some time. No. No. It's not gonna get it. It's not gonna happen. I believe it when I see it. If it does happen, we're gonna wait for it. We're gonna have to wait for it. Because Tyson already said, oh, my hand, my elbows, shoulders, knees, and toes. You gotta take care of all that. After he was giving the other young man, AJ and Usyk, because they said they needed some time after their fight. He's saying he's messed up now. My elbow and stuff. From beating on Chisora for 10 rounds, he got tennis elbow.
He got a tough head. He got
man, listen. We ain't gonna see that no time soon, bro. You gotta wait for a year now. Gotta wait for a year now. I believe it when I see it now. But it was exciting. I thought it was exciting for the heavyweight division, especially if we give Joe Joyce a little shine for people that didn't know who he was. I thought that was a good look. They probably gonna be asking for Joe Joyce or Usyk to fight again. They're probably gonna be asking for that because Tyson Fury is hurt right now. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna need some time to recover for beating up on Chisora for 10 rounds.
It ain't easy beating up on someone, man.
It ain't. It takes from you.
Hard work beating up on somebody.
Oh yeah, gee, let me hold this, especially your friend. Especially your friend.
You know what they say? It's gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you.
The psychological damage you're gonna have to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
Saw what happened at the Wilder whoop Hellenius.
Yep. I'm with it. So I believe it when I see it. But I don't see it happening no time soon.
All right. So Trill says he believes it when he sees it, doesn't think it's next. Conspiracy G.
Yeah, I actually do believe it's next. And for several reasons that we've covered in the past. They're trying to remember IBO ordered Usyk to fight
IBF.
Oh, IBF, excuse me. But shout out to the IBO, man.
IBO can't order nothing. IBO can't order
IBO ordered. Somebody take this belt.
My bad. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, because IBF is like, hey, man, listen, you got to make moves. You got to defend the title. You just did your voluntary. Something has to happen. And so if he doesn't do this fight, he's definitely Fury. And I don't know if Fury could fight Joyce next. We gotta look at who's in the rankings this and the third. But with Usyk has to, defend. But nonetheless, we already Usyk's team said they already been in talks with Frank and Bob. Everyone's set to go. They were really just waiting on Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury didn't really say much because his mind was on Chisora. Now that fight was out the way. He called your mans out, called them all kind of P words and called him a rabbit, which I thought was hilarious because when I think about it, that's a great metaphor. You know what I'm saying? Like in the heavyweight division, Usyk is definitely a rabbit. He's the smallest guy and he jumps around the ring. So
that's not why he's calling him a rabbit, bro.
Oh, for real?
That's him a rabbit because he has a gap in his teeth.
For real? Oh, that's messed up, man.
That's why he's called him a rabbit, bro.
Ain't nothing wrong with brothers with gaps now, man. Sure, love it. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I
just explained it to you.
Well, he a hater, so it don't matter.
He's calling him a rabbit. You were making it. You were actually giving an explanation, making it seem like reasonable. That's not why he's calling him a rabbit.
Well, hey, whatever. Anyways, pretty much that fight gotta be next. And I think Usyk really, really wants it. Although to me, Usyk didn't show it over there when he showed up to the ringside. Like he looking like he needed his interpreter because he didn't understand what Fury was saying. But nonetheless, You know, he already signed on, so we good to go. You know, Fury, and to be honest with you, Trill, this is where me and Trill kind of disagree on things. The Fury excuses about his injuries and all that stuff, I don't think it was for Usyk. I think it was actually for Joyce. Because if he doesn't get that fight with Usyk, I promise you, he ain't gonna fight Joyce next. No, he's not. He's gonna come up with something. Either he's not gonna be in the ring for a long time, or he's gonna fight another tune-up. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be like, oh, I'm still recovering from my knuckles from punching Wilder or something. And then when I was punching Chisora, it made it worse. But when it comes to Usyk, he's probably like, yo, Usyk is Ukrainian soup. We in there. With Joyce, he's gonna be like, let's hold off for a little bit. I promise. Look at the energy that he gives off for Usyk, and then look at the energy he gives off for Joyce.
Yo, G,
Joyce is respect.
He's smart,
bro.
He's smart. He wants to undermine Usyk. Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I'll let you rock. Go ahead.
No. He wanted to undermine Usyk. It's an old trick. It's an old trick in the book. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
act like the guy that you already beat. Act like he's the toughest one. You know what I'm saying? Because you already beat him. That's an old mind trick. It's old mind trick we used to do with women. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna work with champions. You know what I'm saying? It's not working with Usyk. I didn't say he made an excuse. I was just saying he's saying that the excuse not for Usyk because I don't think that any of these gentlemen are afraid of each other. You know what I'm saying? I believe that these are warriors. I'm saying that he said about his hand and his elbow, like it ain't happening next. He's going to need some time because Usyk is not as easy as what he's trying to portray him to be, or how he's trying to act. When you calling him a puffed up middleweight and stuff like that, I don't think he's that. He thinks he's fooled like that, you know. So he's gonna need some time. If not, he wouldn't be mentioning his hands, elbows, and shoulders, and all that other stuff. That's all I was saying.
I hear what you're saying.
Usyk at all. I think it's a tough match for both gentlemen. This is not food or a cakewalk for both gentlemen. Both of these gentlemen are going to have to switch what they do. They're going to be both taken to the task. If you think that Usyk is going to be a Derek Chisora or a Wilder, you are out of your mind. This guy moves differently and he counters. He throws punches from different angles. It's all about angles. Like a Manny Pacquiao, he throws punches like that. Like he from different angles. You know what I'm saying? He's a different. And Tyson Fury is amazing. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be high level boxing. You're going to think you're watching two middleweights in there getting it on. Tyson Fury likes to call Alexander puffed up middleweight. With the skill level with both of these gentlemen, it's going to look like it's going to be in a lower division. It's going to look like that. It's not going to be food for either gentleman. This is going to be high level, intelligent boxing. That's what's going to see there. And credits to both gentlemen when it does happen, because this is what boxing needs. Neither of these gentlemen are food.
I'll say this. I'm not going to comment on who's food yet, but I'm pretty confident Tyson Fury is not afraid of Usyk at all, bro.
And I'm pretty confident that Usyk is not afraid of a Tyson Fury. But
I never said that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I think. That's why I believe the fight's going to happen next. You know what I mean?
I believe, you know why?
Happen, I don't think Fury's going to take that Joyce fight next at all.
I don't think he'll take the Joyce fight either. Next. I think that he's going to take some time. And while he's taking that time, like you said it, you called it before about the IBF and they got their mandatory. I think if Tyson Fury doesn't agree with that fight in a certain amount of time, that they're going to order that fight, and we might see Usyk with that other guy for that IBF belt before we get Undisputed. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Usyk is done.
I hope not. I hope Tyson Fury heals. He don't need surgery, just some ice.
Yeah, nah, I think I hope Frank Warren isn't a fool. You know what I mean? I think all the promoters, they want this to happen now, you know, and so because I don't see Fury really viewing Usyk like that much of a threat, I think he understands with Joyce, even if he wins, there's a strong chance he's gonna be really injured. Like he's not leaving the same way he comes into that ring. Where Usyk, even if he loses, he'll still walk away with all his faculties. That's the difference. It's like Usyk is going to maybe outbox Fury, but he's not going to punish Fury. You get what I'm saying? Like, so there's more at risk against like a Joyce. And I think he's going to be like, I need more time to prepare. And they interviewed Joyce afterwards, right? And he was talking about how they used to spar at what's it? Abel Sanchez's camp over there. You know, he said, yo, we had Tyson Fury and myself, we had great sparring sessions together. So he understands what Joyce brings to the ring. And I think that's why Fury talks with such respect when he's talking about Joyce. It's not like, I know y'all thinking it's probably mind games. I think it's legitimate, like, yo, he's an actual threat, and I respect that. You know, so that's why I don't see Tyson Fury, if he's not going to fight Usyk, going to run to Joyce next. I think Tyson Fury's capping on that. But I do think he really wants Usyk right now. And I think all the promoters want that fight. And that's it's a big payday for everyone to make it happen.
Yo, you're putting too much emphasis on what he said, bro. He's not fighting Joe Joyce ever. You keep mentioning Joe Joyce's name. He's never gonna fight Joe. He's just
talking. For the record, I'm only mentioning Joe Joyce because
you kept saying Joe Joyce. He got to stay away from Joe Joyce. He got to go. Oh, he's gonna fight the easier guy. This is Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce. No, he's not gonna fight Joe Joyce. He's talking about I'm injured.
Hold on, yo, Trill. You know we're saying the same thing.
No, he's never gonna fight. You know what he's gonna do if it's time and time goes by and Usyk ends up fighting that mandatory and it's time and he got a gap in between the fight, he's not gonna fight a Joe Joyce. That's not even in his mind. He's gonna fight one of the guys like maybe the kid Franklin who just fought and did good, or somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
You're probably right too.
Another level of a Derek Chisora. That's what I'm saying. He's gonna stay away from.
Come on, Trill, man. Respect, Brev. You're talking mad. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm just saying, bro. He's gonna need some time. He's gonna need some time, and then he's gonna get it on with Usyk. I think next. It's just me thinking. This next after Usyk probably fights his mandatory with the IBF, he takes some time off to heal from his elbow in his hand, right? And if he does fight somebody, it won't be a Joe Joyce. Tyson Fury is smart. He's doing smart business here. The Dillian White and then the Derek Chisora going over there and fight. It's smart business. This is what Tyson Fury is doing. It's doing smart business.
But wouldn't it smart business be to fight Usyk next?
Smart. He needs to heal. You heard him. When they asked him, is he fighting him next? Oh, my hand. He did the whole show. And then when they asked him, my hand, my elbow, I need some time. When he said all that time made me think about what you were saying about the IBF making that other fight happen. Because if they don't order that in a certain amount of time, the IBF is going to make that fight happen. And so it won't be next.
No, but that might still be Fury's next fight. It's just going to be it's probably going to be in like 8 months. You see what I'm saying? But it'll still be Fury's next fight as opposed to Usyk's next fight. It's just something to think about. You know what I mean?
I say with the FBI, with the IBF.
That could be who they are.
Would they allow it? Would they allow that much time?
Well, real quick, will the FBI allow Fury back in the States? No.
All right, TV. Oh.
No comment. TVA said no comment.
I meant to click on mute, but my bad, y'all. You know. But Fury and Usyk face off, I say this. I hope so. I would call it around between April and June. That'd be the best time for them to fight. But if Fury has this, if tendonitis, it might delay it till August. It might delay it till August. Like it's either early spring, end of summer. That's when I want to see these guys fight. Get it on. But I disagree with you, G. Usyk didn't look shook at all, yo. He looked like he was just like.
I never said he looked shook. What do y'all, bro? Do y'all not listen to me when I talk?
I didn't hear you say Usyk look shook.
Yo, what's the same thing with like? He's like, yo, he's not gonna fight Joyce. I'm like, I know that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
lost. He didn't look lost. It was just
he looked lost. So, yo, quit the cap, bro. He was calling this is what he did. When Trill was like, yo, he's saying part of my back, he was done. He's like, yo, where my interpret that? Yo, hurry up.
Right now. He just did this. Let me call you back. Let me call you back.
You're my interpreter right now.
He's like, literally,
He's supposed to already be here. He my manager. You know what I'm saying? Like,
let me call you back. That's all. Let me call you back
right now.
Nah, Usyk ran up there. As soon as he said his name, Usyk ran up there, ran past security.
Yeah.
He's like, don't put some respect on my name.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
By himself.
And,
No
you know,
security.
I just feel
That's true.
Usyk
Usyk couldn't understand anything Fury was saying. He heard, "Where's the rabbit?" He didn't hear nothing. He said, "Where's Usyk?"
Nah, but you know what's even crazy?
You just wait. You know what he say? I just wait for my name. I just wait for my name.
Nah. That's the best part of that video. Usyk looking confused, and then Joyce just popped out of nowhere, like, yo, get out of my way, yo. You ain't saying nothing, yo. What's good? You know what I mean? I was like, damn.
Nah, opportunity struck. Joyce had to step up.
You're right.
Joyce had to step up.
Nah, he can't. He was coming to Usyk's back. He was coming to have Usyk's back.
It sounds like
he seen other people coming over. He was going to make sure he had somebody there with him.
Yeah, but that was dope. Though. I like the
That's what I seen. I seen wanted to see like he had somebody else there with him. They were getting a little rowdy over there.
I like the gimmick they gave us. You know, it brings more entertainment to the sport. It makes you want to put eyes on these guys and be like, oh, what's next? What's gonna happen next? Is it Joyce? Is it Usyk? You know, who's the next? These guys is putting up for themselves, and I'm not gonna say Joyce try to get some shine, but Joyce was holding his mans down, and I like that. I like that for boxing when you got fighters just going back and forth, and you know, it just builds up anticipation for the fights.
Yeah, holding his mans down. You think Joyce care about Usyk, bro?
Like, I think it was that type of. If you see. We'll watch it again, and so we'll break it down after this. But if you see, I don't think at first he was coming there to steal no shine. I think that he was going there because of when you seen the energy and the people that was coming around. You know what I'm saying? I think he was there as not as like have his back, like a little bit of camaraderie. And then that's when it came in when, you know, Tyson started talking with him too as well.
Nah, Joyce went up there like, yo, this is my time to shine. You
know
what I mean?
I don't know.
He wants that WBC belt.
Well, we don't know. I'm just speculating.
I mean, it could have been a number of things. I think, like it could have been that what you said, Trill. I think also I do think it felt like it was kind of like Fury was just hurling insults and nothing was coming back, and he kind of was like dead. So I think Joyce probably was like, well, let me like step up and
like it's enough of all that. Like I got in there,
you know, like let me change like the energy in
because you know Usyk, you know what I'm saying? You don't do that, you know what I mean?
Usyk couldn't like
just smiling in his face, like,
Usyk could have a back and forth, and like when Joyce got up, he said it. It wasn't like Joyce isn't saying like, yo, skip him and fight me. He's like, yo, if you can't fight him, fight me. Like, you know what I mean? So he's not saying like, yo, pick me over Usyk. He knows that Usyk is the first option. So
yeah, let's keep it real. This was
they sitting together, they were laughing, chopping it up and they was just working out with each other. A couple whatever I seen.
Yo, Trill, this is what happened. I'm telling you, Tyson Fury's going at him like, you Robert, you there. Yo, Usyk just like, thank you very much. And they were like, yo, get out of here, son. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, and you know he didn't have his back. Y'all acting like y'all don't watch Top Boy. If he had his back, first thing he said, respect, bruv. He didn't say no. He was like, all due disrespect. I want in, son. I want that WBC belt. Joyce was about himself. He didn't even once mention Usyk. He didn't have Usyk's back. He pretty much he looked like he almost shoved Usyk while he was on the phone. Like, Usyk
what's up with you and my man Usyk? You know what I'm saying? What did Usyk do? You try to tell me, G, you gotta stop hiding this and tell me what did Usyk do?
Usyk didn't do anything. That's the problem. He didn't do anything. He just showed up and smiled. He just showed up and smiled. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't hold it down for the brothers with the gaps. You know what I'm saying? He just
he let the brothers with the gaps down, G.
He's smiling and beguiling. Like,
he was licking his lips. He seen food, G.
Oh, okay,
you know
yeah.
He was licking his lips. He seen food.
And I was like,
he was like, how he said he's looking at Tyson Fury. He said Fury looked like a bag of milk. He ain't gonna beat him. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. He's a bag of milk. He ain't gonna beat him.
My fault, man.
Yeah, now you can finish up.
No, I was finished. I just feel like, yo, it was just a whole lot going on in that right there. It's like I don't know. I can't remember if I heard Usyk speak English, where he tried to say a few words. He's a man of few words when it comes to English. What? I don't feel like he was like bothered by Tyson Fury going off, and I just think he was just sizing up his opponent. It's like, keeping it simple. Like, yo, man, you do all this big talking, and he's gonna show you, and then because he
struggling to read his opponent. You know what I'm saying?
Say what?
I say he looked like he was struggling to read his opponent. You know what I
mean? He looked calm in the face. He didn't look surprised. Like, oh, this man's big. He's tall. He's just like,
yeah, he was acting.
And he picked up a phone call. And then, Joyce was just doing this thing. But this fight's gonna happen. It just needs to happen, man. We need contract talks come January 2nd, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so the face off to me, I think it's interesting. It helps sell the fight to some people. It would have been better if Usyk was able to exchange with Tyson Fury, but then that's not Usyk's style. Like, Usyk drops little funny one-liners here and there, and he reacts to what people do because he doesn't really exchange words because he doesn't speak English like that. What I saw was Fury being Fury, and I saw Usyk just standing there trying not to laugh at him. Like, Usyk already has a good sense of humor. If you look at like who he is as a person, like he's always cracking jokes, and like I don't think you're gonna intimidate Usyk like at this point in his career. Like the man was undisputed in cruiser. He's unified heavyweight champion. He's been through it, and then on top of that, he was out there during a war representing his country. So I don't think like a few insults are gonna bother Usyk. I just don't think that's how he.
I already beat a Ukrainian. Oh snap!
Yeah, that's what he said. But look, Usyk was at the fight. That's all you need to know. Usyk was at the fight, and he went up to the rope to meet Tyson Fury. That's all you need to know. If he was trying to duck the smoke, if he was trying not to make the fight happen, he wouldn't have been there. How many times have we seen that in boxing? We got two guys right now who I won't name, but we ain't never seen them get face-to-face in a ring and do whatever. We've been waiting to see them fight for years. So Usyk and Fury, to me, have already done more to try to make this fight happen than some folks. So that's that. Their team's there. Their managers are in the same building. And all of them acknowledge that they've been working on a deal. We know that. Frank Warren acknowledged it. Usyk's team acknowledged it. Bob Arum acknowledged it. So we know that they're at least working on it and trying. And like these are people who've worked together in the past. So I mean, I have good faith in it. Like Tyson Fury to me is funny. Him calling him nicknames and stuff. I think everybody knows this about Tyson Fury already. AJ's the bodybuilder. Usyk's the puffed up middleweight. Deontay's the skinny little hoopman. Like that's what he does. He just talks his trash, like, and he sells the fight. So that's what he was doing. Now you guys brought up the IBF. What the interesting thing is, Bob Arum and Frank Warren are saying the IBF isn't up next in their rotation. They're saying that it's the WBA, and we're going to get into that. If it is in fact the WBA, that means that if Tyson Fury doesn't fight Usyk next, Usyk will have to defend against Joyce. So that could be what you're sensing from Tyson Fury is he's going to step back and say he needs time to recover and watch them order Usyk to fight Joyce. And then step in after, and maybe all the praise that he's given to Joyce is he believes Joyce will beat Usyk. If that happens, I'm not gonna be happy though. I think that's a sucker move in my opinion. I feel like why not fight Usyk, get the belt from Usyk, and then fight Joyce and then beat Joyce? Like that's what you should do. That's if you're the best. Go ahead.
Hold on. Now, which one would be a bigger fight for Undisputed? Fury versus Usyk or Fury versus Joyce? Especially if they're going to do it in the UK.
Fury versus Usyk.
You're playing with fire, though. You're playing with fire. And the reason why I say you're playing with fire is like we keep kicking it down the line and it never happens. And it never works out the way that we think it's going to work out. So you're talking about Usyk versus Joyce. Let's say that fight happens. And let's say Usyk wins, he outpoints Joyce. So now they got to do it again. It just delays it. And then Fury's going to want to fight someone else, and it's just a mess. We won't see it. But let's say Joyce does win, and then Fury's interested in fighting Joyce. Is he going to fight Usyk after, or is he never going to fight Usyk? So to me, it's like Fury is the WBC champion, and I respect that. He beat Vladimir Klitschko, and I respect that. But it's not lost upon me. And I'm a Fury fan, and I like Fury. And I challenge anyone to go run through the tapes. Like, I picked Fury to beat Wilder from the jump. Like, Fury's been my dog. So don't sit here and try to say that. But I can't ignore the fact that Fury hasn't beaten Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk. And to me, those are two of the best heavyweights of his era. And if he goes and he continues to be undefeated and he beats a whole bunch of people, I still don't know that he could beat those two guys. And it would be easy for people to give him the victory because he beat Deontay Wilder. But are we going to act like fighting Deontay Wilder is the same as fighting Anthony Joshua? No. Are we going to act like fighting Deontay Wilder is the same as fighting Alexander Usyk? No. He hasn't even beat Andy Ruiz. And Andy Ruiz is another guy who was champion in his era. So I want to see all these guys who were champions fight each other. And so far, the guy who's done it the most is Anthony Joshua. But he took some L's, so people hate on him. But it's like at least he gave us the fights we want to see. When we talk about Tyson Fury now, we want to see Tyson Fury fight Usyk. And if we don't see it, are you guys going to get mad at him the way you would have got mad at, say, AJ if he avoided the fights? Are you going to get mad at him? And I'm not ready to go that route because Fury has given us the fights. He gave us Klitschko in Germany. He gave us Deontay Wilder in America. They were together. They were face-to-face. I hope that Fury fights Usyk next. But that is an interesting thing. Like, because when you guys were speaking about it, in Trill, you saying it seems like he doesn't want Usyk next, or he wants Usyk to fight as mandatory. And G, you're saying like, if Usyk fights his mandatory, he'd still be Fury's next fight. It's interesting. If the WBA is next in rotation, would Frank Warren want Joyce to get a crack at Usyk before Fury? Because it gives him two shots at, say, winning the titles. Or do they still want to make Undisputed? The fight I'm interested in is Undisputed because I feel like if Usyk beats Fury, you already know rematch. If he wins the rematch, then he can fight Joyce. That still would be a big fight. If they split trilogy, winner of that can still. So there's still a lot of big fights. Deion Sanders said this recently. And I love me some Deion. I think it was profound, and I feel like this is what happens in boxing. Deion Sanders said, like, he has like a closet full of suits. So he'll go to one suit and be like, oh man, this suit is amazing. I'm going to save this suit, right? For an event. And then so much time will go by that he never actually wears the suit. And then he's on to something else. What was he saving that suit for? He should have just wore the suit because he liked it so much, right? And that's what I feel like happens with these fights. We look at these fights like, oh, man, this is such a great fight. We're going to delay them. We're going to push them down the road. We're not going to give it to the people yet. We're going to let it build up. And then it gets to the point where we don't even get those fights. We don't even see the fights. And then you lose out on all the money you could have made. And you lose out on all the popularity and fanfare you could have gained for those fights. Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. Just imagine if y'all would have fought each other in 2015. One of you would have been undisputed. one of you would have been in history. Instead, neither one of you were in history, and now we're talking about Usyk and Tyson Fury being undisputed. Imagine if y'all would have fought each other then. You both would have made big time money. One of you would have made history, and you would have inherited a bunch of fans that would have been paying to see your fights over the course of the years because of what you did for the sport, but you didn't do it. That's you keeping that suit for later, saying, oh, I'm going to wear this later. It may not get to that point. Make the fight now. Make the fight now. That's what I'm saying. And so hopefully they don't do that. What is it you're trying to show us, Trill Dollar Bill?
He's showing the interaction.
Instagram.
Whose Instagram?
Usyk. What he said was, let's talk in the ring. That's what he put up. Let's talk in the ring. And people were saying they got 7 days. They got 7 days to make this fight.
Why 7 days?
I don't know, but they
I hope the IBF only giving them 7 days. That's a short window. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what Fury gave Joshua. So, hey, man,
now I see where your hatred for Fury is coming from. Or TV, it's all related to AJ. Nah, but to get to it, I really hope that they make Undisputed, because I feel like saving it, pushing it down the line, we may not end up getting it, and lessons should be learned from mistakes that were made in the past. You know, say smart people learn from other people's mistakes, and you don't want to keep messing around. This fight is big now. Make it now. I like Joe Joyce. I want Joe Joyce to get his shot too, but I just feel like, that can come later on. And there are other big fights out there for Joe. You can throw Joe in there with Dillian. That's a big fight. You could throw Joe in there with Derek Chisora. That's a big fight. You could do Joe versus Daniel Dubois too, because it's looking like Daniel.
Have a funeral, bro. Nah.
So, anyways, that's my take on it. Do I think it's next? I'm going to say I think it's next, because I think that both fighters understand that they don't want to play with fire. While they're both healthy, while they both can make the fight happen.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And also, please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. This was a good debate. Let us know how you feel. We're the Boxing Bros.